What do you think of Beethoven as the indomitable musician who composed great music despite being deaf? Or maybe you've heard of him as an innovator? Beethoven lived in an era of absolute monarchy, where the king wielded absolute power, similar to a dictatorship. In 1789, when Beethoven was 19 years old, a revolution for freedom and equality broke out in neighboring France. For Beethoven, this revolution for freedom and equality in a neighboring country was a huge event that got his blood pumping. And Beethoven saw Napoleon as the great hero who could actually embody the spirit of this revolution. So Beethoven wrote the heroic symphony for Napoleon. However, when Napoleon proclaimed himself emperor and became king, Beethoven's disappointment and betrayal was palpable. So Beethoven removed Napoleon's name from the cover of the symphony he had written for him. And he changed its song's dedication to the civic hero. He then makes it the theme melody of the first movement of the symphony, with a very simple melody, so that the citizens can easily sing along. The theme melody of the first movement of a symphony is a very important part of the symphony. It's the first impression, and it represents and defines the whole symphony. For such an important part, Beethoven chose a very simple melody instead of a grand and colorful heroic figure. What's particularly noteworthy is that this melody comes from a traditional German dance tune. And not the elegant dances of the privileged, but the dances of the common people. In other words, a great society isn't built by a few great people, but by ordinary citizens working together to build a great society, little by little and steadily. Meanwhile, the theme of the fourth movement of the heroic symphony is also noteworthy. Beethoven had an extreme aversion to reusing a melodite hat he had used once in another piece. As a creative, Beethoven was always striving to create new music. However, there is one melodite hat he repeatedly used in multiple songs. It's the melody that symbolizes Prometheus. This melody was used repeatedly in the following three songs. The first is the ballet The Creation of Prometheus, the second is the fourth movement of the heroic symphony, and the third is the Eroica Variations. Eroica is the Italian word for hero. Beethoven was extremely reluctant to use a melody over and over again in different pieces, even though it was his own. However, the melody about Prometheus is one that he used repeatedly in three different songs. This is because Beethoven loved and cherished this theme so much. As is widely known, Prometheus steals fire from the gods and gives it to humans. And he is punished by having his liver pecked out by eagles. For Beethoven, the revolution of the civic heroes is like that of Prometheus. That their efforts, though arduous and difficult, would pave the way for a new world of freedom and equality. Beethoven didn't write many symphonies. Only 9 symphonies in total. His last symphony is what we know as the Choral Symphony. The theme melody of the Choral Symphony, the Ode to Joy, was also made very simple in the hope that citizens would sing about their moments of joy in the new world. In honor of Beethoven's noble intentions, Ode to Joy, the theme melody of the Choral Symphony, it is now designated as the anthem of the European Unions. Does the music of the heroic symphony and the choral symphony sound a little different now? And beyond Beethoven being an icon of self-overcoming who overcame deafness to compose great music, but also was he a revolutionary who dreamed of a new world? Raise me up, and raise the world up.